What if one small act of kindness could unravel a town's deepest scars? What if the person everyone ignored became the one to change everything? Welcome to the story of a woman who dared to care in a place that forgot how, and the strangers who showed up when no one else would. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's dive into a tale that'll grip your heart and leave you questioning everything. Where are you watching from? Drop it in the comments. We can't wait to hear from you. In the forgotten corner of Willow Creek, a town where dreams went to die, the air hung heavy with dust and distrust. Cracked pavement snaked through streets lined with shuttered shops and sagging porches. The people here didn't live. They survived, bound by habit and suspicion. The sky was a dull slate, as if even the sun was too tired to shine. At the edge of town, where the woods swallowed the horizon, stood a crumbling shelter called Haven House. It was a place for kids no one wanted, abandoned, disabled, invisible. And at its heart was Amanda Ellis, a 28-year-old black woman who carried the weight of their futures on her shoulders. Amanda was no stranger to Willow Creek stairs. Her deep brown skin and tight curls, pulled back in a practical braid, marked her as an outsider in a town that clung to its sameness. Orphaned at 9, she'd been raised by her grandmother, Clara, in a creaky house with a leaky roof and a stubborn spirit. Clara's words were Amanda's armor. Asterisk, never bow to their hate, child, and never let the voiceless go unheard. Asterisk, those words drove Amanda to keep Haven House alive, even as the town turned its back. Donations were a trickle, volunteers a myth. But Amanda didn't quit. She couldn't. That morning, she walked the streets, clutching a stack of flyers. The ink was fading, the edges curling from too many hands brushing them away. Haven House, a home for every child. Please help. The words were a plea, but Willow Creek wasn't listening. At the diner, old men muttered over coffee. She's wasting her time, one grunted. A woman at the post office clutched her bag tighter as Amanda passed. Why is she always begging? The whispers followed her like shadows, sharp and cold. Amanda kept walking, her jaw tight, her eyes forward. She wasn't here for their approval. She was here for the kids. The gas station was a relic, its faded red paint peeling like old skin. The pumps creaked, their analog dials clicking like a heartbeat from another time. Amanda pulled her battered hatchback to the farthest pump, flyers tucked under her arm. The air smelled of gasoline and cigarette smoke, the crowd by the store already watching her. She ignored them. She was used to it. But then she heard it, a sharp voice cutting through the morning haze. You think you can just waltz in here and get free gas? Not in my town. Amanda's eyes flicked toward the commotion. A man stood by a gleaming motorcycle, its chrome catching the weak sunlight. He was tall, broad-shouldered, with tattoos curling down his arms like stories etched in ink. His leather jacket bore a patch, Iron Reapers. His dark hair was tied back, his face weathered but calm, even as the station clerk, a wiry man named Hal, jabbed a finger at him. I'm not scamming anyone, the man said, voice low, controlled. My phone's dead, and I didn't know you only take cash here. Hal scoffed, his face red. Yeah, right. You bikers always got an excuse. But you're running from something. The crowd, locals with coffee cups, a mechanic in greasy overalls, a woman filming on her phone, chuckled, their eyes gleaming with judgment. No one stepped forward. No one cared. Amanda's grip tightened on the pump. She saw the man's jaw clench, his hands raised in surrender, not defiance. I'm just trying to get home, he said, quieter now. My sister's kid, he's sick. I spent my last cash on his meds a few towns back. Hal laughed, cold and sharp. Ain't my problem, pal. Pay up or I'm calling the cops. One moment, one choice. Amanda could walk away, let the stranger face the town's wrath. But what she does next will spark a chain of events no one saw coming. Will she risk everything for a man she doesn't know? Stick around to find out. Amanda's heart pounded. She knew this scene too well. The crowd's smug faces, the quick rush to judge. She'd felt it her whole life. The man wasn't yelling, wasn't threatening. He was just stuck, like her, like the kids at Haven House. She could have kept her head down, fueled her car, and driven off. But Clara's voice echoed in her mind. Asterisk, never let the voiceless go unheard. Asterisk, before she could overthink it, Amanda stepped forward. I'll cover his gas, she said, her voice cutting through the jeers like a blade. The crowd froze. Hal blinked, dumbfounded. The man by the bike turned, his hazel eyes wide with surprise. Laughter rippled through the onlookers. You're kidding, Hal snorted. You don't even know this guy. I don't need to. Amanda shot back, her voice steady as stone. I know what it's like to be judged before you open your mouth. The woman with the phone snickered. Guess trouble sticks together. Amanda ignored her, marching to the register. Her wallet was thin, the bills inside meant for groceries, maybe more flyers. But some things mattered more. She handed over the cash, paying for her gas and his. No hesitation, no regret. Hal muttered, Your funeral, as he printed the receipt. Amanda didn't flinch. The only funeral here is your kindness, she said, pocketing the change. The crowd's laughter faded, their smirks faltering. The man approached, his boots heavy on the cracked pavement. Up close, his eyes were softer, carrying a weight that matched her own. You didn't have to do that, he said, voice rough but sincere. I'm Caleb Kane. Amanda, she replied, meeting his gaze. Don't worry about it. He hesitated, then offered, let me pay you back, or at least buy you a coffee. She shook her head, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Just get to your nephew. That's enough. A gust of wind tore through the lot, snatching a flyer from her car. It tumbled across the pavement, landing at Caleb's feet. He picked it up, his eyes scanning the words. Haven House. A home for every child. His brow furrowed, a question forming behind his guarded expression. Amanda was already climbing into her car, the engine coughing to life. She didn't look back, but as she drove away, the flyer in Caleb's hand fluttered like a promise neither of them could yet see. A single act of kindness, a fleeting moment at a gas station. But what Amanda doesn't know is that Caleb Kane is no ordinary stranger. And 3 days from now, he'll return with a gift that could save Haven House or tear Willow Creek apart. Don't go anywhere. This is just the beginning. 3 days passed, each heavier than the last. Amanda handed out flyers, knocked on doors, and faced the same tired rejections. Not my problem, said the grocer. Times are tough, said the pastor, avoiding her eyes. Haven House was a whisper away from collapse. The roof leaked, the pantry was near empty, and the kids, bright, beautiful kids with crooked smiles and fragile dreams, deserved better. Amanda sat on the shelter's steps, her hands clasped tightly, exhaustion carving lines into her face. Inside, Clara hummed an old gospel tune, sorting a meager box of donated cans. The kids' laughter drifted through the walls, a fragile light in the gathering dark. Then she heard it, a low, steady rumble like thunder rolling up the road. Amanda's eyes snapped open. Dust swirled beyond the shelter's faded sign as a line of motorcycles roared into view. A dozen, maybe more, their chrome gleaming like fire in the evening light. Behind them, a pickup truck rumbled, its bed piled high with crates. Amanda stood, her heart hammering. The bikes pulled into the gravel lot, engines cutting off in a chorus of silence. And there he was, Caleb Kane, helmet under his arm, his Iron Reaper's patch bowled against his jacket. His hazel eyes found hers, steady and sure. Clara stepped onto the porch, her cane tapping sharply. What in heaven's name is this? She muttered, eyeing the bikers. They were rough, tattooed, leather-clad, the kind of men who made Willow Creek lock its doors. But their faces weren't hard. They watched Amanda with quiet curiosity, not judgment. Caleb stepped forward, pulling a crumpled flyer from his pocket. You dropped this, he said, his voice a low gravel. Amanda stared, her breath catching. You came back because of a flyer? She asked, disbelief threading her words. Caleb's lips twitched into a half smile. I came back because 3 days ago, when no one else cared, you did. He glanced at the shelter, its chipped paint and sagging roof. Haven House, you run this place? Amanda nodded, still processing. Yeah, for the kids who've got no one else. He gestured to the bikers behind him. This is my crew. Well, not much to look at, but we don't forget a debt. The men open the truck, unloading boxes, food, clothes, medical supplies, toys. Amanda's throat tightened. Tears burn her eyes, but she blinked them back. "Why?" she whispered. Caleb's smile faded, his eyes distant. "My nephew, Eli, he's been in and out of hospitals his whole life. Rare condition. I've spent years scraping by, try keep him alive. That day at the station, I was on my way to see him. Ran out of cash, ran out of luck. This town was ready to bury me." He met her gaze. "But you didn't. You gave me a chance. Now I'm giving you one." Amanda thought she was alone in her fight. But Caleb's return is just the start. What happens when a town that thrives on judgment is forced to face its own heart? And what secret is Caleb hiding that could change everything? Keep watching. This story's about to take a turn you won't see coming. The rumble of motorcycles didn't stop at Haven House. It echoed through Willow Creek, shaking the town awake. By morning, the streets buzzed with whispers. "Those bikers are back," a man muttered at the diner. "Trouble's coming," said a woman at the market, her voice tight. Kids peeked from windows, drawn to the roar of engines. The Iron Reapers didn't linger in town. They headed straight for Haven House, unloading more supplies, fixing broken windows, patching the roof. And Amanda was there, shoulder to shoulder with them, her hands as dirty as theirs. The townsfolk watched from a distance, their suspicion a heavy fog. But curiosity is a powerful thing. First, it was the old men from the diner, lingering at the edge of the lot. Then the market woman, her arms crossed, her frown softening as she saw Caleb hand a toy truck to a boy in a wheelchair. Teenagers on bikes circled closer, their whispers turning to questions. Why were these rough men here? Why was Amanda, the woman they'd ignored for years, at the center of it all? Caleb worked quietly, his hands steady as he repaired a fence. Amanda watched him, her mind racing. "You didn't have to do this," she said one afternoon, handing him a bottle of water. He wiped sweat from his brow, his hazel eyes catching hers. "You didn't have to help me either," he said. "But you did. That's how it works." Clara, ever watchful, pulled Amanda aside that evening. "That man's got a story he ain't telling," she said, her voice low. "Be careful, child." Amanda nodded, but her gut told her Caleb wasn't the threat Willow Creek feared. Still, Clara's words lingered. What was he hiding? The town is watching, but not everyone's ready to trust. Caleb's kindness comes with a shadow, a secret that could unravel everything Amanda's built. What's he hiding? And will Willow Creek's prejudice destroy the hope they're starting to build? Don't miss what's next. Days turned to weeks, and Haven House transformed. The roof was sturdy, the pantry stocked, the kids' laughter louder. The Iron Reapers became a fixture, their bikes a familiar hum. But Willow Creek's uneased and fade. At a town meeting, voices rose. "Their trouble," a shopkeeper insisted. "They'll bring crime," said another. The sheriff, a grizzled man named Holt, promised to keep an eye on them. Amanda stood at the back, her arms crossed, her silence louder than their complaints. Then came the letter. It arrived in a plain envelope, slipped under Haven House's door. Amanda opened it, her hands trembling. The words were typed cold. Asterisk, "Get those bikers out, or the shelter burns." Asterisk, her heart stopped. Clara read it over her shoulder, her face grim. "This town's got poison in its veins," she said. Amanda crumpled the letter, fury and fear warring inside her. She didn't tell Caleb. She didn't tell anyone. But that night, she couldn't sleep, the threat burning in her mind. The next day, Caleb noticed her tension. "Something's wrong," he said, his voice low as they stacked supplies. Amanda hesitated, then showed him the letter. His face darkened, his hands clenching. "This why you've been quiet?" he asked. She nodded, her voice tight. "I can't let this place go down. Not for me, not for them." She gestured to the kids playing nearby. Caleb's jaw tightened. "You're not alone in this," he said. "But I need to tell you something." Amanda's heart sank. Clara's warning echoed in her ears. "What is it?" she asked, bracing herself. Caleb pulled out the photo from his wallet, the boy in the hospital bed. "This is Eli, my nephew. He's not just sick. He's at Haven House now." Amanda's breath caught. "What?" Caleb's voice broke. His mom, my sister, died last year. I've been fighting to keep him alive. When I saw your flyer, I knew this was where he belonged. I brought him here last week. He's one of your kids now." Amanda's world tilted. She thought of the new boy, quiet, frail, with Caleb's hazel eyes. She hadn't known. "Why didn't you tell me?" she whispered. Caleb looked away, shame in his eyes. "I didn't want you to think I was using you. I wanted to help because you helped me. But now I'm scared they'll come for him too." A secret revealed, a threat looming. Amanda's fight for Haven House just became personal. But when the town's hatred boils over, who will stand with her? And what will it cost to protect the one she loves? Stay with us. The truth is about to shake Willow Creek to its core. The threat wasn't empty. 2 nights later, Amanda woke to the smell of smoke. She bolted from her bed, heart pounding, and ran to Haven House. Flames licked the back wall, the night air thick with ash. Clara was already there, ushering kids out, her cane forgotten in her panic. Amanda grabbed a hose, spraying water as neighbors gathered, some helping, others just watching. The Iron Reapers arrived, their bikes roaring and dove into action, hauling water, pulling kids to safety. Caleb was at Amanda's side, his face grim. "This wasn't an accident," he said, his voice low. The fire was contained, but the damage was done. The back wall was charred, the pantry ruined. Amanda stood in the wreckage, her hands shaking. The kids were safe, but the threat lingered. The sheriff arrived, his face unreadable. "Could have been an accident," he said, but Amanda saw the doubt in his eyes. She handed him the letter. His jaw tightened, but he said nothing. The town's whispers grew louder. "It's those bikers," they said. "They brought this." Amanda felt the weight of their blame, but she saw the truth in the Iron Reapers' actions. Their hands blistered from fighting the fire, their eyes fierce with loyalty. Caleb pulled her aside. "We're not leaving," he said. "Not until this place is safe." Amanda nodded, her resolve hardening. "Then we fight back. Together." They organized a community meeting, not in the town hall, but at Haven House. Amanda stood on the porch, the kids behind her, the Iron Reapers at her side. The townsfolk came, wary but curious. Amanda held up the charred letter. "This is what fear does," she said, her voice steady. "It burns what we love. But I'm not giving up. These kids deserve better. And so do we." Caleb stepped forward, his voice raw. "You see us as trouble. Fine. But we're here for the same reason Amanda is. Because someone has to care." He gestured to Eli, sitting in a wheelchair, watching with wide eyes. "That's my nephew. This is his home. You burn it, you burn him." The crowd was silent. Then a woman, the one from the gas station with the phone, stepped forward. "I was wrong," she said, her voice trembling. "I saw what you did. I want to help." One by one, others joined. Old men, teenagers, even the sheriff. Willow Creek wasn't healed, but it was listening. The fire didn't destroy Haven House. It lit a spark. But can Amanda and Caleb hold this fragile alliance together? Or will one final secret tear it all apart? You won't believe what's coming next. Months passed, and Haven House rose from the ashes. Volunteers came, townsfolk, neighbors, even strangers from nearby cities. The Iron Reapers stayed, their bikes a constant hum, their hands rebuilding what hate tried to destroy. Amanda and Caleb worked side by side, their bond unspoken but strong. Eli thrived, his laughter a light in the shelter's halls. Clara watched it all, her sharp eyes softening with pride. But one secret remained. At a town festival to celebrate Haven House's reopening, Caleb pulled Amanda aside. "There's something else," he said, his voice low. "The fire. I know who started it." Amanda's heart stopped. "Who?" she whispered. Caleb's face was grim. "Al, the clerk from the gas station. I saw him that night, slipping away. He's been spreading lies, trying to turn the town against us." Amanda's blood ran cold. Al had been at every meeting, smiling, offering help. A wolf in sheep's clothing. She confronted him that night, the festival lights casting shadows across his face. "Why?" she demanded. Al's smirk faded, his eyes cold. "This town was fine before you, and those bikers stirred things up. You think you can change us? You're nothing." Amanda stood tall, her voice steady. "I'm not nothing, and neither are they." The crowd, overhearing, closed in. Hal's lies unraveled as witnesses stepped forward. Teenagers who'd seen him with a gas can, neighbors who'd heard his threats. The sheriff cuffed him, his face grim. "You're done here, Hal." The festival continued, the air lighter, the music brighter. Amanda stood on the stage, a new sign behind her, Haven House, a home for every child. She held a plaque, not just for her, but for all of them. Clara, Caleb, the Iron Reapers, the town that finally saw her. "This isn't about me," she said, her voice carrying over the crowd. "It's about choosing love over fear, about seeing past the labels. Hope isn't a place, it's us when we show up." The applause was thunderous, raw, real. Caleb stood at the back, Eli beside him, his hazel eyes shining with pride. Willow Creek wasn't perfect, but it was home. And for the first time, Amanda wasn't just surviving, she was seen. From a single act of kindness to a town transformed, Amanda and Caleb proved that hope can grow anywhere, even in the cracks of a broken place. What did this story stir in you? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to join us for more stories that remind us what it means to be human. Turn on notifications. Your next dose of inspiration is just a click away. Thank you for watching, and let's keep choosing hope together.